That's a good slurp.
I've had mouth-watering noodles all over Asia, and every country does it a little bit differently. Today we're diving deep into the Korean noodle scene, hunting down some of the most unique dishes you'll find here.
The ice is in the noodle. Have you seen that anywhere else but here? It's my first time.
Luckily, I won't be alone on this noodly adventure.
Hae-Jun's gonna join me and she's gonna show me what noodles are all about here in Seoul, South Korea.
From instant noodles done up fancy,
People love the taste of that instant noodle, and it's so good that we cannot make the same good taste out of fresh noodles.
to hand-pulled noodles.
Every order, basically, he's making new noodles and every time.
Today we're going all out in Seoul, South Korea. You can't talk about noodles in Korea without talking about instant noodles. And 7-Eleven is the mecca of all things instantly noodly.
Here at the 7-Eleven, they have a whole aisle dedicated to just noodles.
I guess more than maybe 30 kinds, 20 kinds.
When I was a kid growing up in Minnesota, we had ramen. Our choices were like cow, chicken, or shrimp. It was sad.
Here they have noodles of all kinds. Salty, cheesy, hot, wet, creamy, even
Chumchi mayo? Tuna and mayonnaise noodles. What is going on here? I think we have to get this one.
It's actually good.
The best compliment you can get is actually, and then a positive thing. Like when people talk about my show. Oh, it's actually funny. Thanks. What is the difference between ramyun and bibimbap?
So ramen is like the one with a lot of soup, and then bibimbap is like a paste. So you just mix the paste with the noodle. It doesn't have any soup.
Some people in the US don't even know about this. You can steam the noodles, pour out, strain out the water, and after that, you mix all this together.
after the noodles are soft and strained, we pour in some dry seasoning. Add in some brown mayonnaise.
I mean, guys, are we eating at a 5-star restaurant? I can't even tell.
Before we dig in, Hae-Jun shows me a life-saving noodle hack.
You fold this one into half, and then again.
What?
Now that's a plate.
It's a little conical bowl. Of all my time, having lived in this country, I've never seen that. So I can just pull it from here.
Yes.
Like it's a dish and put it in my little bowl. That's freaking awesome. And it feels fancier somehow. Tuna, mayonnaise, noodles. Let's do it.
It's good.
I like it. It's like crazy salty, of course. All these are gonna be. I like, oh, that's a good slurp. I like the mayo. It's creamy.
Very adequate amount of tuna. It's not like really fishy.
Also an adequate amount of MSG. Is there MSG?
Yes, MSG.
I love this little cup thing.
As long as you follow the cooking directions, if you've got a couple of bucks and some steaming hot water, there's no way to go wrong in the 7-Eleven noodle section. Up next, Korea's legendary cold noodle. Naengmyeon originated in North Korea and became widely popular after the Korean War. I'm headed to a Korean fast food joint, or a bunshik, known as Kimbap Cheongook, to check it out.
It's the only noodle I've seen anywhere in Asia that they actually have ice in the broth. We're gonna go inside right now and see how they make it. We are in the Kimbap Cheongook kitchen. She's making the noodles for the naengmyeon. So look, it's gotta start out hot because we gotta cook the noodles and then we cool it down. So right here, she's straining the noodles and washing them off. Oh, and there it is, the classic stainless steel bowl. So it's just this massive clump of noodles here. Oi, opshi.
Oopsie.
Opshi. Yeah, please no cucumber.
On top of the noodles, we've got some pickled radish, a red sauce composed mainly of red chili paste, and then an icy radish broth, topped with egg and sesame seeds. You can get a dry version that is very similar called bibimbap or mixed cold noodle, but I've opted for the icy broth.
From here, we're gonna mix it all up. It's such a beauty. I hate to break it apart, but here we go. Seriously, it's like tightly wound. It is like a bird's nest.
Usually these noodles would be cut for easier eating, but they can be eaten as is, as a symbol of longevity of life and good health. Benefits also received by hitting the like button.
It's impossible to pull it apart. It's all just one giant long piece. And this noodle, it comes from the kudza root, everybody. Everyone knows the kudza, everyone knows this root from when you grew up, and that's why it's dark in color. Really not strong flavors at all. What I like about it is the texture. It's just super chewy. It's cool, it's refreshing. The only thing is it gets a bit unwieldy, and I think I just figured out the right way to eat it.
Well, so much for longevity.
That is naengmyeon. That is the ice cold noodle here in Korea.
Reunified with Hae-Jun, we're headed to a place some call Eat Street. A street lined with affordable entree-wielding eateries, including this place, Ramyun Jeom-pang.
What is Jeom-pang?
It's like a small store. It's like a really small shop, but then it has those unique flavors, our old memories of ramyun.
Unlike Japan, you'll never find freshly blanched Korean ramen noodles.
Korean ramyun cannot be a fresh noodle, but it's the fried noodle itself. It's all instant noodles.
Korean ramyun means instant noodles, and no one does it better than this place. Like this picturesque sundubu ramyun, noodles with soft tofu and spicy broth.
I know they use Shin ramyun, right?
It's like a national ramyun. It's like the most famous and the most original, most basic ramyun. The
Okay.
Shin, Chinese character for Shin itself means spicy.
Inside the restaurant, the whole menu is here on the wall with a million different toppings. Cheese, kimchi, curry, miso, like doenjang.
So you can think as you're choosing a base, and then you can also add different toppings. So it says rice cake, cheese, egg, dumpling, and more. You only have to pay like 500 won.
Today I'm getting bulgogi ramyun with added rice cake and egg. She's gonna get the curry ramen with cheese.
Can you ask her, is that a pretty good order? Do we seem like pretty professional at this? What do you think?
괜찮으신 것 같으세요, 조합이? 괜찮아요?
네, 괜찮아요. 맛있는데
I'm not sure you translated what I actually said.
Each order is made in a clay pot with Shin ramyun, a spicy noodle that this shop considers to be spice level 0. From there, the spice scale goes all the way up to level 10.
She said 2, I say 3. 3. I can't believe it goes up to 10.
Yeah, I thought Shinramen would be like 5.
The curry ramyun gets Shin ramyun seasoning, carrot, potato, water, curry powder, and mushroom. Once it's almost finished, it's topped with a slice of cheese. The bulgogi ramyun gets some extra rice cake, bulgogi sauce, sliced beef, water, and some level 3 spices. Once it's piping hot and the noodles soften, she tosses in an egg with a final garnish of mushroom. Now that is a work of art.
Wow.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
진짜 just amazing. 예뻐요.
This is my first time trying curry ramyun.
But it looks awesome. Bam, put it in the spoon, blow on it. It require a lot of blowing. I'm gonna put a little bit of the bulgogi on top. You ready?
Wow. This is so good.
That is delicious. It's definitely a level 3. It still maintains that Shin ramyun broth flavor, and I have an egg hiding somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, baby. The egg for me is classic. You gotta get the egg in there.
It's so good.
You have to like construct the most beautiful bite possible because this is a food show. Oh, and then we get like a piece of duck on there. We'll put some of the bulgogi on there. Has she ever seen a bite this beautiful?
드시는 분은 못 찾아가지고.
She never actually get to see how people eat because you're so busy here.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so famous.
Right. Let's take a bite of this beautiful bite. It's so good, salty, spicy, all those comforting Korean flavors in there. Do you guys want to know anything else about this noodle? We just kind of want to eat it now without you here, without you watching us. Is that okay? Next up, more noodles.
Last up, Chinese noodles. Well, they're not exactly Chinese.
Like the US has its version of Chinese food and Korea has its own version of Chinese food too. And two very prevalent noodles you'll see all over Korea are jjajangmyeon and jeom-pang. But not only are they making those noodles, but they're also making those noodles.
For each order, the owner of this shop whips up some fresh noodles made from wheat flour and water. It doesn't get any fresher than this.
So first time he tried jjajangmyeon, he thought it was so good that he got interested, and As he got more interested, he got to know many other Chinese food, and he got to study it.
Each of these dishes, jjajangmyeon and Jeom-pang, have been here for over 100 years, changing a lot from their original form.
We're in the kitchen right now. We're gonna make this sauce for the jjajangmyeon, and it starts right here in this skillet. Did I say skillet? I meant wok. It starts with this wok. It's got some oil in there, and then he's throwing in some ground pork. When there is this much fire involved, you know it's gonna be cool. Fire equals delicious.
He was asking what kind of job you have.
This is it right here, buddy. Tons of onion going in right now. And these are gonna get crazy caramelized inside of there. Next, putting in some salt
Some seasonings,
and some sugar.
and now the most basic paste. It's made out of the bean.
That is what's gonna give it the dark color. That bean paste, it's been fermented a little bit. It has kind of a nutty smell. Even more. Yeah, buddy, load it up. You know you're in a good kitchen when there's no measuring cups, okay? He just knows, he feels it.
With the sauce complete, the noodle master gets to pulling his noodles.
That whole load of noodles is gonna go and get blanched inside there.
Finally, the most stunning bowl of jjajangmyeon I've ever met. He also whips up one of the other Chinese Korean classics, jeom-pang, starting with chili oil, cabbage, wood ear mushroom, and some other plant life. Then chili powder, chicken stock, and finally seafood, including clams, mussels, and squid. This spicy blend is poured on top of a freshly pulled bundle of noodles. Time to eat.
I'm gonna dig into this jjajang. We gotta mix it all up, right? You gotta really work it, guys. Massage that sauce back around. What do you think?
It looks good.
Now we're gonna get a nice big noodly bite. Let's go for it.
So good.
It has a wonderful fresh chewiness to it. Got a ton of onion coming through. I think the fermented bean gives it a bit of smoky flavor. It's unreal that he's just making this for each new customer.
The noodle's so fresh.
That's a good slurp. Do you want to switch?
Yeah.
You just gotta navigate your way around the bowl. There's a lot of shells in there. Don't eat the shells. But then there's also these like big pieces of ojingwa. Here, look at that squid. Coated with that broth. I'm gonna try that out. Chewy. Let's try out some nudes.
Okay. This is so good because like jjajangmyeon can be too salty sometimes,
Right.
but then it has that perfect taste.
It's a little spicy, it's savory, it's seafoody, and it's just got tons of meat chunks inside. We should have one more slurp off. Slurping in the US, it might be considered a little bit rude, but over here, it's almost like a compliment.
It's showing that you're enjoying the food so much.
And so I think we need to have a slurp off to show him who enjoys it the most. You guys judge who is the winner of the slurp off. I almost inhaled it. I almost died.
You win.
Oh no, I think you still got me.
That was a life-threatening slurp.
It was a wild day, but I want to say thank you so much for your time and joining me on this
Thank you.
noodly adventure today here in Seoul, South Korea. And for you guys, I want to let you know this video was made possible by Onetrip Vietnam.
Onetrip is the highest rated tour company in Vietnam, doing tours from north to south. Right now in Hanoi, Da Nang, Hoi An, and Saigon, you can experience food tours, adventure tours, and more.
To learn more about Onetrip, check out the links in the description down below. I will see you next time. A peace.
Oh,
What? Oh,
okay.
cut.
You are